Hello, my mathematicians. I love math. It's one of my favorite times of day, and I hope you're enjoying our time together too. I know I told you before, but I love to run. In fact, I hit my 100-mile goal last month in September, and now I'm working toward running more in October. And like I said before, it's important that I warm up my body before I run, and it's important that we warm up our math minds before we get thinking and solving problems. So let's start again with counting. So what I want you to do is make sure your camera's turned on because we're watching you say the numbers. Of course, keep it on mute, but we can see it. So let's start by counting by 5, shall we? So count with me. But let's start with 35. Okay, so we'll go 35, 40, 45, 50. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Can you keep going? 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140. Stop. Ooh. See, that was a good workout. We're getting higher, aren't we, now that we're in 2nd grade? Okay, let's do twos, but let's start with 44, which is my current age for at least another month or two. So 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, 80, 82, 84, 86, 88. Stop. Well done. I can see people counting. All right. So remember how we talked about tens too? And I was like, man, you're all great with tens, and you are. So let's try tens again with a different number. And remember, we saw the pattern before when we did these lessons, and they always end in the same number in the ones place. So let's start with 7. Okay, so count by tens with me, starting with 7. We're counting by tens though, so we're like, picture that in your brain, dropping it down. Okay, so see if you can hear the pattern. 7, 17, 27, 37, 47, 57, 67, 77, 87, 97, 107. Come next. 117, 127, 137, 147, 157. We could go on and on and on, couldn't we? Now, there was one that we added last week, and it was tough. And remember, we figured it out. We were counting by quarters. Do you remember how much is a quarter is worth? 25. And I want us to start to hear that pattern. And it's one that we just kind of have to memorize, just like we've been memorizing, like you memorized those counts when you were younger. So I'm going to say them again and again until you can join me. And I want to be seeing your lips and moving. Are you ready? So it sounds like this. 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 50, 75, 100. You're probably going to have dreams of me at night. I'm going to be in there going 25, 50, 75, 100. But it's great, right? It's all good. Your minds are moving and shaking and getting it all worked up. And the other thing I want to review really quick before we go on for today is that even and odd stuff that we learned yesterday. And if you remember, or not yesterday, last week. My brain's not working, even though maybe that workout was a lot for it. So remember we said that even numbers, we found out through our discovery last week that they end in the numbers 2, 4, I'm going to put my commas because remember they separate 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Oh, but they're not going to end in 10, so I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to make it a 0. So our numbers, any number that ends in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0 is going to be an even number. And we're going to be able to share that equally with 2 people. That's what even means. Split it in half. So I said to you last week, and I told you to impress your grown-ups, I hope you did, that you could come up, you could tell us any number if it's even or odd. Okay, so I'm going to give you a number. Let's start with 451. If it's even, sorry, my glare again. If it's even, I want you to give me a thumbs up. If it's odd, thumbs down. So is that even or odd? It's odd. Good job. All right, I'm going to erase that. I'm going to make it tougher. Let's do, I know, 7,943. Even or odd? Get your thumb to stop where it needs to be. I know I have a couple people thinking. You're right again, it's odd. Can't fool you guys. Okay, I'm gonna make it a bigger number. How would I do it like this? How about 892,078? So 892,078. What do you think? Even or odd? Get your thumb so I can show. I'm looking through everybody's. It's even, isn't it? Because it ends in our even number. Excellent. All right. One more math warm up and then we'll get going, I promise. I'm going to just write another number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I'm not going to put that comma in there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 4, 2, 9. There's a big number. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I would read that. But I do want to show you that when you're writing numbers, like you saw me put those commas in, you always go 3. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. So that is one ginormous number. Numbers are so amazing. They could go on forever. And even if you can't read it, what do you think? Is it even or is it odd? What do you think? Show me with your thumb. Oh my gosh, you guys are already stopped. You're right, it is odd. And the only number we need to look at is that last number. So well done today. And even in odd numbers have patterns, don't they? And we talked about that, if you remember, when last week, when we were looking at, we found out our even numbers and they all ended with 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. We saw that pattern over and over again, right? So we're going to be looking for patterns again. Let's see if we can find other patterns in numbers. So I have like a little number chart here. I'm going to grab my yellow marker again. And I'm going to count this time, starting with 4. And I'm going to count every 4 and I'm going to color it in. And we're going to see if we can find a pattern. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you starting to see a pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to just start looking at it now. So it looks like, doesn't this look like it just kind of skips? Yep, it sure does. So I'm going to do that. And this one looks like it skips. Oops. Make sure I'm doing that right. And this one looks like it skips. So I could do it either way, but I'm definitely seeing a pattern. Are you seeing that pattern with me? I hope so. I'm going to do one more. So look at this. Oops, sorry. Okay. So now I have that colored in. And I was counting by 4s. And little do you know this, boys and girls, repeat counting like this, it's multiplication. Yes, times problems. Can you believe you're doing that? I told you, you're an amazing group. This is why we can do this. But let's look at these patterns, shall we? So I'm going to look again just at that ones place, just at the last number I see, and I'm going to write it down and see if we can see a pattern. So it starts with 4, and then 8, and then 2, 6, 0. So I'm gonna write that too. 2, 6, 0, 4, 8, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. Oh my gosh, are you noticing? Did you see a pattern there? 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. So what is our pattern? The pattern that repeats itself is 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. And then just that tens place. So we can start to hear a pattern. 4, 8, well, it's hard when we do the teens. So let me go here. 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, 68, 72, 76, 80. It's a harder pattern for sure because it's longer, right? Like our twos just is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And that's our 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So it's only 5 repeating. But the more we practice these things, the more we start to hear them. So that's kind of a cool pattern. All right. Let's look now at what you're going to do today. I don't want you to get it out, so don't get out your math journal. I just want you looking and paying attention still to me, but this is what you're going to do in a little bit. So you're going to open up your math journal to page 9. Boy, that looks just like the grid we just did, didn't it? Only, oh, it's higher, isn't it? So I know some of you have been doing your scrolls like crazy, so maybe your scroll goes up past that number actually. I don't know where I put I've been using a pen. I never use a pen in math except for right now, just so it shows up better in these on your screen. But let's take a look at what it asks us to do. It says you start at 102 and you count by 5s and color the counts. You may use a calculator. Man, don't use a calculator. Just use your brain. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to start it out for you just so you can watch because your journal better not be out. But it would start at 102. So you would color in 102. And then you're going to just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Color it in. So it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to color it until you start seeing that pattern. It's going to show up quickly, but I'm not going to go any further and say any more. So that's what you're going to do for this. Then it says to write the shaded numbers in order on the line. So the first number you shade was 102. The next number you shade is 107, and then you'd have to count on 5 more, and you would just keep writing in those numbers on that line, okay? Then it asks you, what pattern do you notice in the numbers you wrote for problem 2? So just like when we were doing this page right here, and we started noticing that pattern, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. See if you can find the pattern that repeats. And I just want you to write down what that pattern is. Then they give you a try this. Now, I have a 5th grader right now. My youngest son is in 5th grade. And he said to me today, he said, Mom, I had a try this. And try thises can be scary because you don't know the answer sometimes. And it's usually a little bit tougher. But I think you can do it. So I want you to try it. Because like I said before, if you try it and you mess up, it's okay. Because we're going to come back and we're going to go over this. And you're going to go, oh, now I get it. And you're going to be that much smarter. So when it says try this, I really do want you to try this. And if it's a wrong answer, man, doesn't matter. It's okay because we're going to go over it again. So let's try this. What digits would be in the ones place if you counted by 5s and started with 103? So if you started with 103 and counted by 5s, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, what would that pattern be? How would you know that? So I want you to try that one. Okay, so you're going to do this page. Then when you're done with this page, you're going to skip over this one. I don't want you to do the broken calculator yet. We'll come back to it because I know a lot of you like those problems. but we're not doing that yet. Instead, what we're doing is we're going to be doing page 7. Okay, so you're going to be doing 9 and 11. Odd numbers, aren't they? And this is, just so you know, oops, my watch is talking to me. Just so you know, this is Math Box's preview for Unit 2. So this is giving us like a sneak peek on what we can expect, because can you believe it? We're already through Unit 1 in math. So awesome work. So this is just a sneak peek. Some of it might be too hard. That's okay. I want you to try this and we'll go over it together. So number 1 says write 6 names in the 10 box. I call that the magic number box. So you're going to write 6 ways to make 10. You could write tallies, you could do money, you could do addition or subtraction, you could write the word, you could do a 10 frame, anything you want here. Do 6 at least. If you're done, if you get done with this whole page and you say, oh my gosh, I want to go more, you can do that. But I want you to have at least 6 names there. Then it says to solve. Now these can be tricky because we're used to seeing numbers like this, 5 plus 5 equals this. And some people get here and they go, oh my goodness, what does that mean? Remember what an equal sign means. An equal sign means that whatever's on one side is the same as another. So if I say 5 plus 5, what is it? 10. If I say 4 plus 6, what's 4 plus 6? That's on one side, so I have to put this on the other side. It's 10. So you just need to kind of think about that equal sign as a scale, and we need it to be the same. Okay, and they're doing birds. Wouldn't that be fun? 5 birds in one tree plus another 5 birds. How many birds together? So check that out and see if you can fill that in. And then they want the number. So sometimes they have 10 on one side here and 3 on another, but remember you need 10 over here. So what number would you put with 3 to make 10? Try it. Try it and see. And if you don't understand it, that's okay. You're going to get there and know it. All right, then down here, they ask you to put same thing, a plus, a minus, or an equal to see if it makes sense, okay? So 10, would we do 10 plus 7 plus 3? It doesn't really make sense. 10 equals 7 plus 3? Yes. So you're gonna kind of play with this, see which symbol. So you've got symbols like plus, minus, equals. Those symbols are gonna go in there, okay? Write 3 doubles facts. Do you remember what a doubles fact is from first grade? I'm not going to tell you. I want you to see. I want you to try and guess. Try this. Try and see. See what happens. Okay? We'll check it over when we're done today. And then finally, it says use the number line to solve 5 plus 6. Oh my goodness. Sometimes people hate this, but it says show your work. So I want you to use a number line. So you're going to start with 5. And you're going to count on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where do you stop? Show what it would look like here. Draw an arrow. Show me what that would look like. And then you're going to put the answer there. Okay. So today, those are the 2 pages you're going to do. So you're going to do page 9, and you're going to do page 11. Okay, that's going to take you a while. It's okay. We're going to put you in your own breakout room. You're going to have time. You don't need to look at the computer unless you hear, hello, I'm here. And that will mean your teacher is here wanting to talk with you, see how it's going, and don't worry about it, right? Now, some of you might fly through this, and you might go really fast. And somebody in my room, I will not say her name, always says, I'm done. And I say, when you're done, you've just begun, and there's other things you can do or add on. So again, if you finish those 2 pages, some choices could be, of course, number scrolls. I've got some kids that are just amazing putting in like crazy numbers. So you could do the number scrolls. You could play the games that we've learned. You could do the pennies. You could do those cards that we made with Fish for 10. And even, remember, you can make your screen small in Zoom, and you can go on to those everyday math games, and you could try some of those. I know that was a big hit for a lot of people in my class last week. So you've got those choices to do. But remember, when you hear your teacher show up and knock on the door and say, hey, I'm here, I want to talk to you, let us know, because we love hearing about your math minds. And you are seriously an amazing mathematicians. So proud of you. So I'm putting in the breakout rooms. We'll take some questions first if you've got them. Otherwise, we're opening up those rooms and we're getting our math on. All right? Have a great day.